The striped hyena, nature's misunderstood night hunter. In the twilight hours across the Middle East, North Africa, and the Indian subcontinent, a solitary figure moves through the darkness with cautious determination. The striped hyena, one of nature's most misunderstood carnivores, emerges from its den to begin the nocturnal hunt. Despite centuries of folklore painting it as a cowardly scavenger and harbinger of bad luck, this remarkable creature is far more complex and fascinating than its reputation suggests. A ghost in the shadows. The striped hyena, is a medium-sized carnivore that has mastered the art of staying hidden in plain sight. Weighing between 55 to 120 pounds and standing approximately 26 to 30 inches at the shoulder, these animals are considerably smaller than their more famous cousin, the spotted hyena. Their most distinctive feature is the series of vertical black stripes that run along their grayish-brown flanks, providing excellent camouflage in the dappled moonlight of their rocky, scrubland habitats. Unlike the gregarious spotted hyenas that live in large clans and dominate the African savanna, striped hyenas are predominantly solitary creatures. They prefer a life of quiet independence, coming together only briefly during mating season or when a particularly large food source presents an opportunity for temporary cooperation. This solitary nature has contributed to their mystique, as they slip through human settlements and wild landscapes alike with minimal detection. The striped hyena's physical adaptations tell the story of an animal perfectly suited to its ecological niche. Their powerful jaws can generate a bite force capable of crushing bones, allowing them to access nutrient-rich marrow that other predators leave behind. Their large, pointed ears serve as sophisticated sound receptors, capable of detecting the faintest rustle of prey or the approach of danger from considerable distances. A distinctive mane of long hair runs from the back of their head down their spine, which they can erect when threatened, making themselves appear larger and more formidable to potential adversaries. The reality behind the scavenger myth. For generations, striped hyenas have been labeled as mere scavengers, lazy opportunists that feed on the kills of nobler predators. This characterization, while not entirely inaccurate, grossly oversimplifies their dietary habits and hunting capabilities. In reality, striped hyenas are remarkably adaptable omnivores with a menu that would impress any culinary adventurer. While it's true that striped hyenas will happily consume carrion when available, they are also active hunters capable of taking down prey as large as young gazelles, wild goats, and domestic livestock. Their hunting strategy relies on patience and persistence, rather than the explosive speed of big cats. They stalk their prey methodically, waiting for the perfect moment to strike when an animal is vulnerable, isolated, or weakened. What truly sets striped hyenas apart is their dietary flexibility. In addition to meat, they consume a surprising variety of foods including fruits, melons, dates, and other vegetation. During certain seasons, plant matter can constitute a significant portion of their diet. They've been observed raiding agricultural crops, eating insects, eggs, and even consuming human refuse in areas where they live in proximity to settlements. This omnivorous adaptability has been key to their survival in environments where food sources fluctuate dramatically with the seasons. Their bone-crushing abilities serve a crucial ecological function. By consuming and breaking down carcasses that other predators abandon, striped hyenas act as nature's cleanup crew, reducing the spread of disease and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Their stomach acid is remarkably powerful, capable of digesting bone, hide, and other materials that would be indigestible to most carnivores. Masters of the night. The striped hyena's nocturnal lifestyle is not merely a preference but a survival strategy refined over millennia. As the sun sets and temperatures drop in their often arid habitats, these creatures begin their nightly routines with ritualistic precision. They emerge from dens located in caves, rocky crevices, or abandoned burrows, pausing at the entrance to scan and scent the environment before venturing forth. Their night vision is exceptional, with eyes adapted to gather maximum available light. Combined with their acute hearing and sophisticated sense of smell, striped hyenas navigate the darkness with confidence that belies the human perception of them as timid creatures. They can detect the scent of carrion from miles away, and their hearing allows them to pinpoint the location of small prey moving beneath vegetation or rocks. A single striped hyena may travel 15 to 20 miles in a single night, covering their territory with methodical efficiency. They move with a distinctive rolling gait that appears awkward but is actually quite energy efficient for long-distance travel. Throughout their nightly wanderings, they mark their territory with secretions from their anal glands, creating a complex olfactory map that communicates their presence to other hyenas and helps them navigate familiar ground. Communication among striped hyenas is surprisingly sophisticated despite their solitary nature. They produce a variety of vocalizations including howls, growls, and a distinctive call that sounds like maniacal human laughter. This laughter, similar to but different from that of spotted hyenas, has contributed to their eerie reputation in human folklore. These calls serve to maintain spacing between individuals, advertise territory ownership, and may play a role in mate attraction. Cultural shadows and ancient fears. Few animals carry the weight of negative cultural associations quite like the striped hyena. Across much of their range, they occupy a dark place in folklore and superstition that has persisted for thousands of years. In many Middle Eastern and North African traditions, striped hyenas are associated with witchcraft, grave robbing, and malevolent spirits. Ancient beliefs held that witches could transform into hyenas or ride them as steeds during nocturnal activities. Some cultures believed that hyena body parts possessed magical properties, leading to persecution not just out of fear but for commercial exploitation. The animal's habit of occasionally scavenging in cemeteries, attracted by improperly buried remains, reinforced associations with death and the supernatural. In medieval bestiaries and early natural histories, hyenas were often described as hermaphroditic creatures of uncertain nature, neither fully wolf nor fully dog. This confusion arose partly from observing the enlarged genitalia of spotted hyenas, but the stigma extended to striped hyenas as well. They were portrayed as cowardly yet dangerous, weak yet cunning, existing in a moral and natural gray area that made them objects of suspicion. These cultural prejudices have had real-world consequences for striped hyena populations. For centuries, they have been killed on sight in many regions, poisoned, trapped, and hunted not just for livestock protection but out of deep-seated cultural animosity. Even today, in many areas, showing sympathy for hyenas or advocating for their protection can be met with incomprehension or hostility from local communities. However, there are notable exceptions to this negative portrayal. In some African and Middle Eastern traditions, hyenas are respected as clever survivors and symbols of resourcefulness. Certain Bedouin groups viewed them with a degree of respect for their ability to thrive in harsh desert environments. A few cultures even considered encounters with hyenas to be neutral or occasionally positive omens, particularly if the animal appeared and departed without incident. Habitat and range. From mountains to deserts. The striped hyena occupies one of the most extensive ranges of any hyena species, stretching from Morocco in the west to India in the east, and from the Caucasus Mountains in the north to Tanzania in the south. This vast distribution encompasses an impressive variety of habitats, demonstrating the species' remarkable adaptability. They are primarily found in arid and semi-arid environments including scrublands, rocky hillsides, acacia woodlands, and even true deserts where water sources are available. Unlike spotted hyenas that prefer open grasslands, striped hyenas favor more broken terrain with adequate cover. They are comfortable in mountainous regions up to elevations of 11,000 feet, where their thick coat provides insulation against cold temperatures. In recent decades, striped hyenas have shown an ability to adapt to human-modified landscapes, occasionally living on the outskirts of villages and towns. They've been documented in agricultural areas, near garbage dumps, and even in the vicinity of urban centers where they remain largely undetected due to their secretive nocturnal habits. This proximity to humans is a double-edged sword, providing access to food resources but also increasing conflict and persecution. Their den sites are carefully selected based on several criteria: protection from extreme weather, proximity to water sources, adequate cover for concealment, and access to hunting or scavenging opportunities. Female striped hyenas are particularly selective when choosing dens for raising cubs, often preferring locations with multiple chambers and escape routes. Reproduction and family life. Striped hyenas typically breed once a year, with mating occurring during winter months in most parts of their range. After a gestation period of approximately 90 days, females give birth to litters of 2 to 4 cubs, though survival rates mean that often only 1 or 2 cubs reach adulthood. Unlike the communal denning behavior of spotted hyenas, striped hyena mothers raise their cubs in isolation. The cubs are born blind and helpless, with their distinctive stripes barely visible against their dark natal fur. For the first few weeks of life, they remain hidden deep within the den while their mother ventures out to hunt and forage. As the cubs grow, they begin to venture to the den entrance, playing and developing the physical skills they'll need for survival. The mother is an attentive parent, regurgitating food for her young cubs and later bringing back pieces of carcasses for them to practice their bone-crushing techniques. This solitary maternal care is demanding, and mother hyenas must balance the need to hunt with protecting their vulnerable offspring from potential predators including leopards, wolves, and even male hyenas. Young striped hyenas remain with their mother for approximately 1 year, learning essential survival skills including how to locate carrion, hunt small prey, identify edible plants, and avoid danger. As they approach maturity, they gradually begin to explore beyond their mother's territory, eventually dispersing to establish their own home ranges. This dispersal is crucial for maintaining genetic diversity within populations. Sexual maturity is reached at approximately 2 to 3 years of age, though females may wait longer before successfully raising their first litter. In the wild, striped hyenas can live 12 to 15 years, though few reach this age due to various threats including human persecution, vehicle collisions, and conflicts with other predators. The conservation challenge. Despite their wide range, striped hyenas are classified as near threatened by the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN), with populations declining across most of their distribution. The challenges facing this species are multifaceted and deeply intertwined with human activities and attitudes. Habitat loss represents one of the most significant threats. As human populations expand and agricultural development intensifies across the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia, the wilderness areas that striped hyenas depend on are shrinking. Roads fragment their territories, while urban expansion encroaches on critical habitat. In some regions, entire populations have been extirpated within living memory. Direct persecution remains a serious problem. Striped hyenas are often killed in retaliation for livestock predation, which, while occurring, is frequently overestimated and sometimes incorrectly attributed to hyenas when other predators are responsible. They are also killed due to cultural prejudices, hunted for body parts used in traditional medicine, and poisoned by carcasses laced with toxins intended for other predators. Road mortality has emerged as an increasingly significant threat, particularly in areas where highways bisect hyena territories. Their nocturnal habits and tendency to scavenge roadkill make them vulnerable to vehicle strikes. In some regions, road mortality may be responsible for a substantial percentage of adult hyena deaths. The illegal wildlife trade poses another challenge. Despite international protections, striped hyena body parts are occasionally traded for use in traditional medicine and magical practices. Young hyenas are sometimes captured for the exotic pet trade, though they do not adapt well to captivity and usually suffer greatly or die. Conservation efforts face the obstacle of limited public sympathy. Unlike charismatic megafauna such as lions, elephants, or tigers, hyenas struggle to attract conservation funding and public attention. Changing deeply rooted cultural attitudes requires patient, long-term community engagement that respects local traditions while promoting coexistence strategies. Ecological importance. The striped hyena plays crucial roles in ecosystem functioning that extend far beyond their immediate predatory activities. As scavengers, they provide vital sanitation services, consuming carrion that might otherwise become sources of disease. In arid environments where decomposition occurs slowly, their ability to process carcasses quickly helps maintain ecosystem health. By consuming bones and breaking them down completely, Striped hyenas recycle calcium and other minerals back into the soil, contributing to nutrient cycling in often poor soils. This function is particularly important in ecosystems where large herbivores and their predators create significant bone deposits at kill sites. Their predation on small to medium-sized mammals helps regulate prey populations, potentially preventing overgrazing in fragile desert and scrubland ecosystems. They also consume large numbers of insects and other invertebrates, playing a role in controlling populations of agricultural pests. As seed dispersers through their consumption of fruits and other plant materials, striped hyenas contribute to plant community dynamics and vegetation structure. Their movements across large territories facilitate seed distribution across landscapes, potentially important for plant genetic diversity. The presence of striped hyenas can serve as an indicator of ecosystem health. Their wide-ranging behavior, position as a carnivore in food webs, and need for relatively intact habitats mean that healthy hyena populations generally indicate functioning ecosystems with adequate prey bases and suitable habitat structure. Coexistence and future prospects. The future of striped hyenas depends largely on humanity's willingness to share landscapes with predators and to overcome centuries of prejudice. In regions where conservation programs have engaged with local communities, promising models of coexistence have emerged. Some successful initiatives have focused on protecting livestock through improved animal husbandry practices rather than lethal control of predators. Building secure enclosures, using guard dogs, and avoiding leaving carcasses near settlements can dramatically reduce human-hyena conflicts. Compensation programs for verified livestock losses help reduce animosity toward hyenas. Education programs that present accurate information about hyena behavior and ecology have shown promise in shifting attitudes, particularly among younger generations. By highlighting the hyena's ecological roles and debunking supernatural myths, these programs lay groundwork for long-term attitude change. Protected areas where striped hyenas receive legal protection are essential for maintaining core populations, but the species' large home ranges mean that protecting habitat corridors connecting these areas is equally important. Cross-border conservation cooperation is necessary given that hyena ranges often span multiple countries. Research into striped hyena ecology remains limited compared to studies of other carnivores, and more data is needed to inform effective conservation strategies. Camera trap surveys, GPS collar studies, and non-invasive genetic sampling are providing new insights into population sizes, movement patterns, and genetic health. Conclusion. The striped hyena stands as a testament to resilience and adaptability in the face of both environmental challenges and human persecution. For thousands of years, these remarkable animals have survived in some of the world's harshest environments, evolving sophisticated strategies for finding food, avoiding danger, and raising their young in solitude. Yet their survival should not be taken for granted. As human populations continue to expand and wild spaces shrink, the striped hyena faces an uncertain future. Whether this species continues to haunt the twilight margins of deserts and mountains, or fades into extinction, depends on choices being made today. Understanding the striped hyena requires looking beyond ancient prejudices and superstitions to see an animal that is neither villain nor victim, but simply a creature trying to survive. They are not the cowardly scavengers of folklore but resourceful omnivores filling an important ecological niche. They are not harbingers of doom but indicators of ecosystem health. In protecting striped hyenas, we preserve not just a species but the integrity of the ecosystems they inhabit and the traditional landscapes of some of the world's oldest human civilizations. We also have an opportunity to demonstrate that conservation can succeed even for species that lack widespread popular appeal, setting precedents for protecting other misunderstood and underappreciated wildlife. As night falls across the rocky hillsides and ancient deserts of Africa and Asia, striped hyenas will continue their timeless routines, hunting, scavenging, and surviving as they have for millennia. Whether future generations will know these animals only through historical records or will still share the planet with them is a question that humanity must answer through action, understanding, and a willingness to make room for all of nature's creatures, even those that lurk in the shadows.